BC teacher suspended 5 days for pinning Indigenous, let's just say Native. They made up that name, okay? Because every Native I know doesn't want to be called that. It doesn't even sound cool. I'm sorry. It's a freaking colonialist name. It is. White people made it up that are in power. There's two different kinds of white people. There's the average white people like most of us, and then there's the white people that get a little bit of power and then ruin everything, like Sarah Bly down here, okay, with her oops. Takes away our free speech, tells us we can't record the shit show she created. I mean, really, and then sends her goons to... I'm not the only victim of her goons. She has sent her goons to other people, too. So the fact that she can make a neighborhood so shitty, give us no freedom of speech, cause us all to qualify for euthanization in a Native neighborhood, how could I not miss this? This just jumped out at me. 5 days for pinning a Native student. Well, thank God that only suspended for 5 days. Probably isn't even going to get a criminal record. Which he ended up pinning the student to the ground in what the regular deemed a harmful echo of residential school abuse. Can you imagine? I've met so many women that graduated residential school, ended up down here. A lot of them died in the last couple of years, and all they did was cry when they had to come in and out of our building. They had such a horrific last years of life because of OPS and Ryan Sads and that other evil Vince from Van Du decided to put tents on our streets. None of them were intelligent enough to know, hey, if we're going to put people back in tents, let's see what they did in the olden days for the bathrooms. No. There's nowhere to dig on concrete. So, wow. You know, I did get hit by teachers quite a bit too. And they stopped hitting me when I hit back. Just so everyone knows. It wasn't just that. They may not hit kids anymore, or not supposed to, but they sure did hit us. I got the red belt in grade 5. The red belt. My hands were bright red. 3 straps on each hand. It was the last belt I got too. Once you can hit them, they don't hit you. They're bullies. Okay, so in 2020 and 2021, the teacher had several Indigenous students in his class. He told his students to line up before entering the school. The student in question didn't comply. The teacher told the student to go back and line up properly, but the student kept walking towards the classroom. This was not first time the student misbehaved, and on earlier occasions, the teacher had verbally asked that student to try again. That student probably has some issues, you know. Their parents probably, let me guess, graduated from residential torture school, MK Ultra, isolation. You know, they sent the cops, the RCMP to their homes to pluck the kids out of the school. It wasn't, you know, we're taking our kids to residential school. Absolutely not. But on November 9th, 2020, the teacher stood in front of the student, before the student could enter the classroom and made physical contact that caused the student to fall down. Oh, that's a bully move. The student got up and moved towards the teacher, who didn't move. The physical interaction occurred, and as a result, both the teacher and the student fell to the ground. According to the consent resolution agreement posted online Tuesday by BC Commissioner for Teacher Regulation, the teacher was on top of the student. Ew, that just sounds like, you know, that just sounds disgusting in my head. Is it a boy teacher? Is it a girl teacher? I've noticed they haven't told us. Makes a difference, though. Boy teachers have more power. The teacher was right over the top of the student and restrained the student on the floor while the teacher repeatedly said, "Stop." I mean, it was really easy to deal with this. You just send the student to the office. I mean, I got sent to the office all the time. "Oh, Debbie, you go to the office? Okay, thank you very much." No issue. None of this had to happen except for, you go to the office. Others in the room saw the teacher sitting or kneeling on the student while the student was still lying down. An educational assistant who had seen the hallway confrontation then went to the classroom and told the teacher, "Get the fuck off the student, you fucktard." Yeah, that was really good. Appreciate that. The district suspended the teacher at the time for 2 days without pay. Of course, he doesn't get charged. Ordered not to use physical force to deal with students' misconduct. The teacher also voluntarily apologized to the student. I would hate that. You've been made to apologize to me. It doesn't mean fuck all to me. And the parents took counseling, worked with a mentor, did courses on understanding the needs and experiences of Indigenous students. Okay, so why doesn't Sarah Bly of OPS, Ryan Sads, and Vince from Vandu not have to take these courses? Because they put people on the concrete where there's nowhere to make a bathroom. They turned the whole neighborhood into a bathroom, and a lot of us suffered. They had no regard for our health or regard for how did people live in tents in the olden days. What did their culture do with the bathrooms? They did not even go there. They made so many elders suffer. You're not supposed to inhale druggy urine or druggy poo or druggy filth. The fact that science couldn't even show up downtown East Side Vancouver shows you science was a coward. It was too dirty down here. By signing the consent resolution agreement with the commissioner, the teacher admits to professional misconduct and accepts the 5-day suspension. The commissioner decided on that penalty because the teacher had an inappropriate physical interaction that reflects the harmful legacy of physical abuse in Indian. See, now they use the word Indian. Now, I did used to hang out occasionally, get marijuana at a res in North Vancouver, and they called themselves Indians, not natives and not Indigenous peoples. In Indian residential school. That word Indian reminds me of the program that mainstream news decided to throw out at us, to tell us they're building a euthanization center, and they had an Indian lady promoting it from India, but still an Indian, promoting it. It's horrible, especially since we have a high population of natives that qualify for euthanization, along with me, down here, downtown East Side Vancouver. The incident harmed the student, negatively impacted the community's feeling of trust and safety in the education system. Oh, not the propaganda that they teach you, because that pissed me off at 13. Yeah, that really did. Find all the propaganda and the bullshit that wasn't real education, the indoctrinating, and nobody else could get it, but I could at 13. Selling me conspiracy theories. That's what they did in the form of, MC equals square. I'm like the kind of kid going, prove it to me. Prove it to me. Look at the dude. Yeah, you prove it to me that this really means that. Oh, you can't. Why? Oh, it's a theory. So yeah, all these theories as if they were reality. I questioned my teacher. you know, and then I thought she was retarded. I didn't want my brain ruined by the whatever shit they were trying to teach me at 13, so my grades went down. Then they tested my IQ because they thought it was so stupid. Turns out I was smarter than the teacher. Had my own place and my own job at 16. Most kids can't do that now. I did want my own place at 12. I couldn't get it. So, yeah, that's horrible. The REACT agreement did not identify the teacher. Oh, we found out what he is. He's a male, or the district he works in. What color was he? Seems to make a big difference to liberals, so we always have to bring this up. Was this a white privileged dude that lived in a privileged neighborhood? Where did the native kid, did he live in a privileged neighborhood? You know, there's so much. But first of all, you're never supposed to touch someone else's kid. You never touch anyone else's kid. I know as a kid, I only wanted my mom to spank me. I didn't want anybody else to spank me. They're not related to me.